What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we got another fun one for you. Another fantastic G.I. Joe offering from our archives here at the museum. This is a fantastic G.I. Joe in a few ways. One being the price. I purchased this G.I. Joe back in 2003 from Walmart, and almost passed up on this this G.I. Joe because I have so many carded figure G.I. Joes. I said, "Oh no, no, I don't know if I want another carded figure, G.I. Joe carded figure. Just didn't know if I wanted another one." But he was too cool. That's the second reason. He was just so cool. Everything from the gung-ho grip hands to all of the equipment, everything's in black. He is our G.I. Joe underwater demolitions team. So he was just too cool. The price was just right. They were practically giving this figure away. And I did a video on a similar G.I. Joe, and I think that's the reason why I was kind of hesitant to purchase this G.I. Joe. Look at the head sculpt though. That was another selling point too. The head sculpt. Let me bring him in a little bit. Somebody gave him the perfect blend on his haircut. I am a part-time barber in my free time as a hobby, and that's a fantastic blend that they gave his this head sculpt haircut here. Just a beautiful job on this figure. Not a lot of cloth goods, if you will. He's got his cloth shorts on. Everything else is plastics. He's got the molded plastic t-shirt. I know a lot of collectors don't like that molded plastic t-shirt, but in this case, it really does this figure some fantastic service, because for one, you can, if you're a kid, the first thing you want to do is submerge this guy in water to see if all of the equipment, parts, and stuff work. And the cool aspect is that here's his flippers. He had a lot of stuff in here that worked, that actually worked. Let's turn this guy around. Guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. Hanging out here in our museum and doing a G.I. Joe review on another fantastic G.I. Joe. For our G.I. Joe fans, guys, we didn't forget about you. More G.I. Joe videos to come. We just get so busy. It's so many different projects that we're working on here at the museum. We don't want to forget about our bread and butter is our G.I. Joe collection. We have a massive G.I. Joe collection here at the museum. This is a fantastic live picture that they put him in an action pose. They got all of his equipment and stuff wet. You can see the beads of water here. He's just climbing out of the ocean here. Here's some background on the underwater demolitions team. It's a Navy SEAL. You guys want to pause your video for some great reading. There you go. Look, the next one that was coming. We did a video on this guy too, the Desert Operations SEAL. Let's get you a year. Right there, 2003. and can't see it. It's on the inside. Here are some instructions. You can see that right in there. There's some instructions on how to operate this bomb, how to detonate this bomb right here. It's got the suction cup device there on it. But right at the base of his feet, this is the mine. So just really cool. That's what the cool factor of this figure was off the charts, because he had so many parts and pieces, so many moving parts and pieces, I should say, that actually worked for such a cheap price. You don't expect a ton of equipment, accessories, and working parts and pieces with a $9 carded G.I. Joe figure. You know, they saved that. Hasbro really saved a lot of that for their box figures and their deluxe figure sets. So this guy had it all, and over the course of time, I've really grown to appreciate this beautiful G.I. Joe figure because of all those little things that he brings to the table. This figure can pretty much hold his own against any of my more deluxe and expensive figures that I have. He's got his knife here. The submachine gun here. The collectors love the close-ups here. Guys, what do you think of our G.I. Joe Underwater Demolitions team figure? Do you remember this figure? Do you have this figure? Hasbro at this time was winding down. They had about another year and a half to go before they would shut down the production of the 12-inch G.I. Joe figure. So this carded figure is one of the last carded figures that they did. But they did a fantastic job on him. And more importantly than that, this is another reason why I feel that Hasbro could easily bring the 12-inch G.I. Joe figure back, even on a not such a massive worldwide scale. They could even, they could make maybe 5 or 6 12-inch G.I. Joe figures just to see what the public, how the public would react to it. And I'm answering my own question or the theory of that possibility, because I know how collectors would react to this. The public would react to G.I. Joe 12-inch action figures being back on toy store shelves. They would lose their mind. And a lot of their money as well, because people would be going broke trying to buy all these figures. But Hasbro produced a lot of carded figures. I have maybe 200 to 300 carded G.I. Joe figures, somewhere in that range, 200 to 300, just carded G.I. Joe figures, 12-inch carded G.I. Joe figures. And I still don't have all of them. That's how many, that Hasbro produced. They put out in so many different variations. That was another reason, like I said, that it was so difficult for me to kind of pull the trigger in getting this one, because I said I have so many. And at that time, I was really trying to narrow my search down to the more expensive, hard to find figures. So I'm glad, looking back 16 years later, I'm really happy that I made the decision to purchase this guy. Guys, tell us what you think in the comment section right underneath this video, guys. Let us know what you think about this beautiful G.I. Joe underwater demolitions team. Guys, got a lot more fun headed your way. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.